You, Season 2. So kicking off with the story, I found Season 2 story was a lot better and stronger than Season 1 story. It felt more intense, it felt more real. Even though it was diving into a more rich, wealthier side of things, I still believe that it was stronger, more grounded, more real. I felt like Joe wasn't able to get away with a lot. I felt what he got away with, you would reasonably think he would get away with. I felt like what they brought to the season was good. They kept the same formula, they just added a bit to it and they made it a little bit more juicier. One of the problems with the season is similar to what I had with Season 1, which is Joe's past. We got flashbacks as to Joe's past and what happened and the kind of things that he and his mom went through with his dad. One of the things I personally might have asked to be changed is instead of justifying Joe's actions by showing his past and why he does the way he does things, is to potentially mash it all into one episode. Basically, one of the things I would change is instead of having the flashbacks dispersed intermittently in the episodes to justify Joe's reasons and actions, I would say put it all into one episode, say in episode 7 or 8, and kind of make it the first like half hour of the 45-minute episode or first 35 minutes, and then basically show Joe and his actions after that. It might allow for the series a little bit more breathing room in the presence, instead of being worried about, oh, okay, so he's going to make a bad decision now, this is the reason he made the bad decision. Instead of that, you basically see Joe's past in a nutshell rather than dispersed. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there was a reveal in episode 9 which I found a bit predictable. However, I said that they probably needed to do that in order to make this season feel different to Season 1. I did enjoy the ending. Even though I found it predictable, I thought it was the good and best way to go. It was very interesting to see how Joe dealt with it and his mindset when it came to that situation. One of the hardest things to do, in my opinion, in any movie or series is to end well, and I feel this season ended very, very well. Except for the very last shot, and by that I mean the last 10 seconds. They do something which I wished they didn't, which made the show feel more by the numbers rather than leave it and just see where it goes. I felt like the creators felt like they needed to put that in to let you know what's coming in Season 3 was more of the same, when I wished they didn't. I am interested to see what they have on offer for Season 3, but if it was in the vein of how they shot the last 10 seconds of Season 2, then I'm not interested. I'm really not. But if they carry on from the main plot points of Season 2, I am interested to stick around at least for Season 3 to see what they've got in store. Overall, I found this better than this first season. In the first season I gave the story 6 out of 10, this one I'm going 7 out of 10 because I felt it was better. It was more of the same, but it was a better told story. As I said, same ingredients to make cookies, except this time they added chocolate chips. Really enjoyed it. I found the writing of the season very good. It felt more tied up. It felt like there were less loose threads. It didn't feel like there was anything really open-ended that they weren't going to follow up with either in a future episode or in a future season. In a series like You rely on strong characters and good character arcs. You rely on being able to be shown why they do certain things and their motivations, whether it's in their head or because of past motivations and past mistakes being made. In this season I felt they did that very well, probably a bit stronger than in Season 1 as well. I know I harped on the flashbacks before, but I do feel that in some cases they are worth it because they give that motivation there and then. It isn't my usual preference, but in this case they did it pretty well. There are very strong similarities with regards to the characters between Season 1 and Season 2. In both seasons so far, you've got your two sets of characters. In both seasons, your characters are split up into bundles. In both seasons, you have your characters in bundles, and your bundles kind of interlink, but not all the time. In Season 1, you had Beck and Peach. They were paired together. You then had the two other friends. They form a bundle. You then had Paco and his mom and his aunt and the guy, the parole officer his mom was dating. They formed another bundle. They interlinked at certain stages, but not too much. Just enough for Joe's two worlds to be colliding. In season 2, you have Love and 40, twins. You then have Love's friends who form the bundle with Love and 40. You then have the other bundle with Delilah and Ellie who are living next door to Joe. They have some interlinking, but again, not much, but enough to show the worlds colliding for both. These similarities help show how Joe has evolved because he deals with both bundles of people differently. This season was trying to show Joe becoming a better person for Love. It was good to see Joe more vulnerable, weaker, going against his nature to be a better person. For Joe, there was a character changing moment in episode 9 which was very well warranted. It felt like the rug was being pulled out under him and it needed to happen. It was deserved, and I really hope that they continue to explore that in the future. Overall, I'm giving the script a good 4 out of 5. So straight off the bat, music and direction I have no complaints over. I didn't see anything that was great, but I didn't see anything that was bad. So for those aspects, I felt like the season was very adequate and very good. In a couple sections, I did notice some jarring editing, something that was, for me, a little bit of an eyesore. Whilst not the end of the world, it was noticeable, and if it's noticeable, it shouldn't necessarily be seen as a good thing. I felt the acting was spot on. I think the acting was really good by all involved. Love was fantastic, 40 was fantastic, Joe was really good. Special mention to Delilah and Ellie, the two neighbors, the sisters. I think they were really good as well. Overall, I don't think the season was very well made. I think it was really good with the script and the story, and I think those are the aspects that saved it. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for presentation, solely on the efforts of the acting. Just a quick heads up, a little bit of a spoiler warning for the end of season 1 while I talk about my enjoyment. You have been warned. I think this season did something very good, and that is taking its time to get into the story. The way season 1 ended felt like it was going to kick season 2 off with a running start, which I wouldn't have minded. But because of the change in location that we found Joe in, it was good to see him kind of getting used to and acclimatizing to his new location. When Candace arrives, however, that's when the season really kicks off and really kicks into high gear. It's when Candace arrives into the story, into the fold, that things really start to kick off. The story started taking twists and turns which I kind of saw coming, but if I did see them coming, they wouldn't exactly play out the way that I thought they would. A special shout out to the episode where they are writing the script. I won't go into any more about it, but that episode was truly really good, and I found probably my favorite episode. One of the things that I thought about in season 1 was some of the lovey-dovey stuff was a bit cringy at times. In season 2, whilst there were a couple of moments where it's like, oh goodness. It felt like the displayed love in this season was more authentic than the one being displayed in season 1. I found in this season, the most endearing relationship Joe actually formed wasn't with Love, but with her brother 40. The connection that the two formed was very intimate and very strong. Yes, we know Joe was doing it reluctantly, but you could tell that he was getting a little bit of happiness out of it. There is a plot involving a guy called Henderson. I felt like the plot with Henderson was there to mainly get Joe into trouble rather than something that was genuinely needed. I have said it before, I think that the ending was very good, barring those last few seconds. I'm extremely interested to see what is going to happen in season 3, and because of that, that means there is something here. I really enjoyed season 2. I'm going to give it a 23 out of 30. Overall, 37 out of 50, better than season 1 by quite a bit, about 10% better in my opinion. I did say that if they get things right in season 2, that they could go up to about 70-75. They hit 74, well done, I like it. I'm interested for season 3, bring it on. Thanks for watching my review of season 2 of You. If you like what you see, leave a like down below and leave a comment if you have any problems or critiques of the way I could do things better. For now, signing off. Cheers.